who left Kabul bound for Australia this week.
Sport Today from the BBC World Service.
Now, if you were only just getting used to football's big leagues getting going again, the international break comes up in September, but Premier League clubs have just announced that they won't be releasing any of their star players to go and play for their country if it's to a nation on the UK's so-called travel red list. Returning players would otherwise have to isolate for 10 days. It means that they would miss domestic matches for their clubs. And I think the way they view it is basically, we pay you, you do what we say. Our football reporter, Sanny Rudravajhala, is with us now. First off, Sanny, what is the red list and what have the clubs said?
Yeah, so the red list is the UK government's list of countries where, in order to reduce the spread of coronavirus, they've asked for extra measures, including testing before you travel and after you travel, isolating in a hotel as well when you get back to the UK. Liverpool were one of the first countries to make a stand about this. They have 4 players affected because their home nations are on this red list. Egyptian forward Mohamed Salah is one. Plus, they've got the Brazilian trio of Alisson, Fabinho and Robert Firmino. Now, the Premier League have released a statement saying that the teams have unanimously decided to refuse to release these players for international matches played in red list countries next month.
Have we had any response then from the international federations? Because I'm guessing that they're probably not going to be too happy, Sanny.
Yeah, I imagine they're not at all, but we've not heard from them yet. Although, interestingly, if you take something like Liverpool's situation, they've officially apologised to the Egyptian FA for not releasing Salah to play against Angola and Gabon for Egypt's World Cup qualifiers. The Angola game is in Cairo, but the Gabon game's away in Franceville, and Liverpool did say in principle that they'd be happy for Salah to play in the away game because Gabon isn't on that red list.
Right, okay, that's interesting. I mean, the British government have been asked to make exceptions. What's the latest on that? Because, I mean, things like that take a very long time to get red taped, Sanny.
So the English Football Association and the Premier League were in talks with the Department of Culture, Media and Sport. That doesn't look like it's reached a happy resolution as far as the teams are concerned. They'd like to see isolation exemptions given to around 100 English-based players. So there's about 60 of those in the Premier League who won't be going anywhere according to their clubs. It'll be very interesting to see now what the rest of the leagues in Europe do. As far as the UK government are concerned, they refused a similar request for the British and Irish Lions rugby players returning from South Africa earlier this month. So by the looks of this new statement from the Premier League, that position's unchanged.
And what about the headache for clubs with South American players? I suppose it's clubs basically for every single nationality, but South American players, they're going to miss out as well.
So it's even worse for them, or at least as far as the clubs are concerned, because FIFA have extended the September and October international window by 2 days in South America to help those countries play an extra game that got missed during the pandemic. So it means games will get played on Thursday, the 9th of September and the 14th of October, with players released for around 11 days during that period. Premier League clubs aren't happy about that either. If you take Brazil, for example, in September, they play Chile on the Friday, the 3rd of September, Argentina 2 days later on the Sunday, and Peru the following Friday in World Cup qualifiers. It's a bit of an onslaught of tough fixtures, and now Brazil won't be the only country missing its star men come September.
So we're talking Premier League teams and players. There is no Premier League action today on this Tuesday here in the UK. Eyes in England turn, though, to the EFL Cup. Teams from the top 4 divisions go into the draw, which therefore means that opportunities for what we like to call minnows here in this country take on the big fish of English football. Sanny, there are teams who are looking to cause an upset tonight, aren't there?
So second tier Huddersfield Town, they're playing Premier League Everton. Leeds United welcome third tier Crewe Alexandra, and the standout tie sees Premier League Aston Villa go to 4th division AFC Barrow. Now, Villa were finalists in 2020. They've won the cup 5 times. For Barrow, it's only their 3rd ever appearance. So what can the Villa players expect? Well, ex-Barrow striker Calvin Andrew has played across the English leagues and thinks Premier League stars may be in for a bit of a shock at a stadium just inland from the Irish Sea in the far northwest of England.
Olga Street's a hard place to go, isn't it? Especially if you've been playing, you're used to playing in front of, 20, 30,000 fans at plush stadiums and plush dressing rooms and stuff like that. And it's what's going to add to the affair tonight.
And what ways will the Barrow players be trying to gain an advantage tonight? Tell us about the dark arts of lower league footballers.
The, the dark arts. I mean, they won't. They'll be getting stuck in. It's as simple as that. They'll know that a lot of these Premier League lads would have been protected in the Premier League by the managers and the referees and stuff like that. So they'll be trying to make it as difficult and as tough as possible by making the game as physical as possible. I remember going to a packed house at Holker Street with Rochdale in the FA Cup. The crowd was a real 12th man there. There was all kind of shadowy play going on, as you said, dark art stuff, on corners, little bits of pinching and niggling and just trying to upset people, really. It's part and parcel of the game.
It's a long way from the top flight. How motivated will these Barrow players be to cause an upset?
Oh, greatly motivated. They've got a lot of good young talent there. And some players that will be looking to establish themselves as top professionals at Barrow. So it's a massive game for them, showcase for them.
And it's a sellout crowd tonight under the lights. Calvin, can Barrow pull off a giant killing?
Well, if there's ever a place for a Premier League team to go, it's Holker Street. So it will be interesting to see what happens, but it's definitely on the cards.
Calvin Andrew, professional footballer, former Barrow player. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Nice to hear that with Calvin Andrew there, Sanny. Players pinching each of the dark arts of lower league football coming out. Love to see it.
Yep.
They're just underway at Holker Street. What's the latest?
Well, Villa have just taken the lead, so it's Barrow 0, Aston Villa 1.
Excellent stuff. Well, that is only, we're only 10 minutes into the game, 11 minutes into the game. Sanny, quick look at Europe. PSV Eindhoven hosting Benfica of Portugal in the Champions League playoff qualifier with it all to do.
The 2-1 down from the first leg. The winners go into the group stage. The losers go into the Europa League. Benfica go into this one ahead, but spare a thought for their players, James, because a video emerged online last night of PSV fans disrupting them with fireworks let off outside the hotel to give them a bit of a sleepless night. The other two fixtures see Ludogorets 2-0 down going to the second leg against Malmo, and Ferencváros host Young Boys with the away side holding a 3-2 lead from the first tie.
Sanny, absolutely stellar work, mate. Thank you so much. That's our football reporter with us here on Sport Today, Sanny Rudravajhala. Just want to just run through a couple of cricket lines for you before we get finishing off here. Pakistan are looking to be closing in on victory in the second